Hello, and this will be the ninth episode of queuing for Steam. So let's see what comes up today. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The year is 1715. Pirates rule the Caribbean and have established their own lawless republic where corruption, greediness, and cruelty are commonplace. Among these outlaws is a brash young captain named Edward Kenway. Very positive, 9,400 reviews, 92%. Yeah, from what I've heard, this is pretty much the best Assassin's Creed in the franchise. The overall aesthetic is rather interesting and quite cool. The ship-to-ship combat and sailing, or free roaming sailing, is actually rather cool and exploration. It has the same kind of Assassin's Creed type of combats where you react to everything and you can parry everything. You're basically invincible during combat mostly. Yeah, there's interesting things where you have to explore shipwrecks and dive. There's some interesting parkour elements around the cities and stuff. That's what the things known for hunting of the sea life, possibly. Although as to whether or not a lot of these are they're all bullshit, all shots basically. None of those are true in game or true gameplay. It's currently on sale, so it usually goes for $30, and I think that is the what's that? Oh, I wonder if they've actually mixed these two up, because the deluxe edition is $30, while the standard edition is $40 base. I wonder, yeah, there probably is a screw up on their part. Values of Prime, yeah, that's not really that cheap. The Season Pass, I'm not entirely sure if that's really worth it. And then I'm not sure about Liberation either. Liberation's quite frankly a dumbed down version, and it's actually linked to 3 and not 4. So, yeah. And then there's all of just meh kind of stuff, collectibles, time savers, stuff for the shortcuts and things to collect everything. Those are really pointless. I don't see the point in getting those when half of the thing of the game is to look around for the collectibles. That's a good way to expand or extend the time played. I don't know why you can go with those. Some other things might be kind of interesting. I wouldn't even bother with the multiplayer. It does have a really interesting method of multiplayer since Brotherhood, but I don't think there's anybody really playing it anymore. I actually own this, but I have still yet to play it, and I would wholeheartedly recommend it. It's been patched, it doesn't have the problems that Unity does. Yeah, it's one of the better Assassin's Creeds in the series. I would probably recommend it, especially on a good discounted sale. Hektor. Experience terrors only madness can conjure in Hektor, a psychological horror game set in a world that literally moves with your very twist and turn. Positive. 94% of 17 reviews. It's only just recently come out on the 13th. I don't even think it's not it's early access like you usually see with these kinds of titles. And it is on sale, though it is usually $20. I'm not a big fan of the old horror thing where you can't fight back against enemies. That just found that really dull. Like, no, well, not dull. It is terrifying, but it's pointless. Ultimately, when you can't overcome the fears or battle the fears, it's so pointless. You're just running all the time, and eventually, the spooky monster, you will find the way to get around them, and it's just meh. So a similar thing happens with Outlast, really. No negative reviews. It's hardly been reviewed. No one's buying it. I probably would not recommend it. These are a dime a dozen. Right, next up, it's going to go. Alright, Broforce. When evil threatens the world calls on Broforce, an underfunded, overpowered paramilitary organization dealing exclusively with excessive force. Brace your loins with up to 4 players to run and gun dozens of different bros and eliminate the opposing terrorist forces that threaten the rest of this description, apparently, because they couldn't fit it in. Overwhelmingly positive, 98% of 5,600 so reviews. I own this game, even in early access, and I must say it is quite enjoyable. Though, due to it being early access, you do hit a point where you've done everything, you've unlocked all the characters, and virtually you come to a standstill and you're just waiting for the next expansion. There is also the free Expendables. It was a demo in a way you could call it. It was really made in conjunction with the Expendables 3 movie. I think you might still be able to get it, but basically it's just a reskinned version of Broforce, and it's a really good way to look at it's really good to look at that if you want to know what Broforce is kind of like and how it plays and feels. Um, okay, let's actually translate the more rows. Missions to each consciousness. Yeah, one of the things they added lately in was the alien infestation, which adds a couple of new levels with alien type of elements, face huggers, xenomorphs like warrior aliens or stuff like that. Yeah, it's quite cool. It also can be pretty cool in multiplayer. Well, that being said for everything, but yeah, this one is quite a good party game to multiplayer. It also comes with its own level editor, and they hold competitions in a way to if you build level per their specs or their guidelines, then it'll probably actually be put into the final game. The best ones we put into the final game, as far as I know. Yeah, it's all positive. I do actually recommend it. It is one of the nicer looking, nicer playable side-scrolling shooters or platform shooters. I guess you could call it that. It has a kind of a cool pixel art style, though. There's a lot of games that look like this or look similar in a way. But yeah, I would recommend it as such. It is fun. It is really fun, though it is short-lived, and maybe you want to wait for it to finish early access. Although it is only $14 or $15, excuse me, for the game. You kind of have to ask yourself if that really counts towards what's on offer. But I mean, with level editing, you can build and expand your own ventures in a way, and your own challenge, create your own challenges for it. Excuse me. Kind of tired a little bit, but yeah, I would definitely recommend this. It's pretty good. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds. Enjoy fast and frantic arcade-style beat-em-up gameplay with cute characters. Beat up hordes of weird enemies with awesome special attacks. Local co-op and PvP support for up to 4 players. Very positive, with 91% of roughly 270 reviews. I've seen this played, and it looks really nice for a side-scrolling brawler. Yeah, it's got a heavily anime inspired, obviously. But It also goes, and it's not a typical brawler where it's simplistic playstyles. There's like combos, special moves, EX breakers, XP, and you can go up levels. You can get skills you can unlock, dash things, you can upgrade your stats as well. Which is about, the enemies have a very weird look to them. Very, I mean, almost normal, but very corrupted with this strange type of thing. And then, oh, jeez, some interesting, funny references. But I am kind of a fan of brawlers. They can be quite good. I've played a good couple, and yeah, this one looks pretty good. As much as I enjoy this, kind of sort of appreciate the attempt at the PC port, I really have to advise against buying Steam until you can co-op with that. Yeah, it doesn't have online capability. It's mostly just split screen or couch co-op. That's one of the downsides. But if you're okay with a single player game, then yeah, it could be alright. I think I will probably pick this up sometime. It's only $12 really, and it's on sale for the moment. It's not really terribly expensive, and there's also a character, I believe. Oh, a Steins Gate character, okay, from an anime, and an extra ups the level cap to 99. That could be fairly interesting. I assume that's her. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I've liked the way this looks, and I definitely want. No, that's a Steins Gate character right there. I definitely want to pick that up. Okay, the Jackbox Party Pack. The team behind You Don't Know Jack presents 5 guffaw-inducing party games in one pack. You're gonna need more than one party for this. Your phones and tablets are your controllers for 1 to 100 players. Okay. Very positive. 86% of the 174 reviews. These are pretty much party games, and like it says, you really need to have like smartphones and tablet PCs, tablets to get the most out of it. I'm not entirely sure I can recommend this as in a single player capacity. Definitely, if you want to crowd around, especially if you can hook it up to your TV, or you're actually getting a Steam box so you can run Steam OS through a miniaturized PC and it's linked to your television. Yeah, I definitely recommend this. But otherwise, as a single player experience, I don't know. $25, and I don't know how expensive the words. I mean, especially with the Don't Know Jack, which is a trivia quiz mostly. That one could run out of questions, and you might eventually get to know everything. I'm going to say I can't recommend this all that much, even though I've really enjoyed the You Don't Know Jack games previously. Saints Row Gather the Hell. Join Johnny Gats and Kinsey Kensington, silly name, as you tear apart hell in the quest to save the Boston soul. Historical icons, old friends, older enemies, a talking gun, full-length musical number, and a whole lot more shenanigans await. Very positive of 2,200 reviews. 81% of that. Yeah, full shots, full shot marketing material. Although some of this could possibly be in-game rendered FMV, potentially, though I think that's more like a bull shot there, same there, same there, same there, same there. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't already got Saints Row 4 or even Saints Row the Third, then this is just a little bit of that, but gone even more wackier with like a Hell Inferno type setting. Um, it is cheaper than the other two games. Anyway. Let's see. Although no, Saints Row the Third is cheaper, but it's a bigger thing. But it is older, and it hasn't got the kind of overall meshed aesthetic. Though I will assume in order to get the most out of this, you probably will have had to have played Saints Row 4 or Saints Row 4. It really doesn't, yeah, because I mean, there are certain things that happen if you're interested really in the storyline that really links to Get Out of Hell. I mean, it could be fun for a romp, but I don't know about that price. Yeah, not the same set, just in a different setting. I mean, if you're a real big fan of the franchise, maybe, but you know, it's feeling very cash grab. And how much DLC does it have? Nothing at the moment. Yeah, because that's the other ones are plagued a little bit with. There was a huge amount of DLC that came out for them, and it was a bit over the top. I don't really know because I own both. I own both 3 and 4, and I'm busy working my way through 4 at the moment. I finished 3, but I mean, interesting premise, but I don't know if I can really recommend it. I'll probably maybe pick it up on a sale when it's down to single figures or in the low teens. Yeah. Alien Isolation. Discover the true meaning of fear and alien isolation, a survival horror set in the atmosphere of constant dread and mortal danger. 15 years after the events of Alien, Ellen Ripley's daughter Amanda enters a desperate battle for survival on a mission to unravel the truth behind her mother's disappearance. Very positive, 94% of 7,500 reviews. That's pretty good, and it is a really good game from what I've seen. It really captures the original aesthetic and overall atmospheric feel of the first Alien film. You also really are somewhat helpless. It's a helpless, somewhat feeling of you can never really kill the xenomorph. The androids and writing humans you can take out with. You get a pistol and I believe a shotgun later on in the game. So that's totally capable. The xenomorph being the ultimate life form is unkillable and it's really difficult to get. It's a bit of a stealth horror game. And that's actually really well done, especially for guys who do really focus their games are known for the Total War games and mass strategy and world building. It's world conquering. It's a really amazing feat from them. The DLC as well. It's quite pricey. It's almost basically the same price as the base game, which as such isn't on sale at the moment. Though maybe the season pass. What does that cover? Doesn't tell me. Might probably cover some of these, but it covers all of them. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are rather throwaway. Some are basically just time trial type things or alternate versions of like challenge missions and stuff like that set in the same single player environments. I I would say I really looks really interesting. And I kind of do want to get this. Kind of want to wait till it's on sale though, personally, especially it's year old now. Or no, it's just under a year, half a year, whatever. Yeah, I would recommend it. It's a really good horror survival game. It has a unique feel that hasn't really been used a lot for in horror settings. Tennis Elbow 2013. Created by and for tennis fans. I wonder really. Tennis Elbow 2013 is a tennis simulation with easy and intuitive learning curve with exceptional gameplay depth. I kind of don't think so. 90% of 10 user reviews. Ugh, and it came out 2 years ago. This one does not bode well. You have so few people have purchased this, and it came out like 2 years ago. It basically looks like one of the old retro style tennis games, but with 3D models and slightly higher fidelity background and environment. I don't know, unless you're really looking for a nostalgic kind of retro style tennis game, of which there aren't really a lot of tennis games on the PC, I must say, or altogether. I don't know about this one. It's usually $25. I don't know if I'd even pay that for it. It's discounted, but oh, any negative reviews? There's some more games I've played. Sincerely 90s, yeah. Reminds me of, I don't know, Nintendo Tennis or Virtual Tennis or there was something on the Nintendo Entertainment System that was like this, yeah. Maybe it was just Cool Tennis, I can't remember. I don't think so. No. Recommended. Alright, next. This Robots Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball. Despite its name, it's actually really kind of like an insta-gib or insta-kill game mode. Disco Dodgeball is a physics-based multiplayer sports FPS set in a futuristic dance club. Launch unicycle robots of neon-lit skate park ramps and nail each other with explosive dodgeballs. Overwhelmingly positive, 99%, although there's only about 1,000 reviews for it. Its visual aesthetic looks really nice. I must say, there's not a lot of games that really use this heavy Tron neon effect, and you don't see a lot of games where it's a insta kill type of game mode of especially with ricocheting balls and things, and it works in its own the dodgeball mechanics of the ability to catch, the ability to reflect the dodgeballs. There's also special power-ups that I've seen. Yep. It's $15, which I'm not too sure if that's really worth it. No negative reviews have come to the top, of which there are only 9 negative reviews. What do they have to say about it? Bluetooth said left by the atrocious netcode. That's another issue. Yeah, comparing up some weird laggy games and stuff. No actual disco music. Joke. Reviews. Oh, this was an early access? Oh, I guess it's coming out of it then. Yeah, I mean, it's quite cool, especially if you're going to play with friends, and it's got a fairly large user base, if there's 1,000 reviews. I don't know if there's any real progression system or any real reason to go up levels. Because there is single player content as well, it's not just a multiplayer only based game like Evolve. It looks really good. I might get it if it's on sale. Or if someone I know really wants to play it and recommends it. Because it's good. It's cool. It's really nice. And you don't see many of these, so it just deserves support. But yeah, I probably won't get it unless it's on sale or someone I know wants to really play it with me. BlazBlue Continuous Shift Extend. The second entry in the acclaimed BlazBlue franchise, BlazBlue's Contunuum Shift Extend adds a number of gameplay modes, story scenarios, new moves, and an all-new playable character to further enhance the BlazBlue experience and solidify its status as one of the all-time great 2D fighters. Very positive, 94% of only 331 reviews. I played a little bit of Guilty Gear Double X, which was the predecessor game to this BlazBlue. It's sure the same. It's the same studio that Arc System works. It makes both of them, and it has a really crazy, awesome looking art style. The 2D sprites are really high end, detailed, and they are crazily animated with tons of frames and stuff. They look so fluid and crazy when they're moving. As to BlazBlue, I have not touched it, and though its pedigree of the previous game franchise Guilty Gear, those were pretty cool games. As to single player content, I'm not entirely sure. Something very positive. Let's see if this reviews. It's really fun and Bang is the best girl. Oh gosh. What's so close to this thing? X3rd and Chrono Phantasma to PC. Yeah, apparently those two versions though are much better, especially BlazBlue X3rd, which has an amazing visual aesthetic where they take what looks like the 2D rendered sprites, but they make 3D models out of them, and then when they move around on screen, it looks amazingly 2D, but then 3D on FMV sequences or movie sequences. That one is probably one of the better ones. You probably, if you don't want to get this or the previous game that came out before it, Calamity Trigger, you probably might want to wait for like I said, Extend or Chrono Phantasma or X3rd. Though it is usually $29, it's on sale for $20. Although Calamity Trigger is a lot less, it's only $9.99. As to whether or not, I hear that might not even have single player, while this one potentially does. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. I need to probably see more about it, but I think there are better versions of that. I probably would wait for them to come to the Steam platform, if you don't already have them. Plague Inc. Evolved. Early access. It's still in early access? Jeez. Plague Inc. Evolved is a unique mix of high strategy and terrifying realistic simulation. Your pathogen has just infected patient zero. You must bring about the end of human history by evolving a deadly global plague, whilst adapting against everything humanity can do to defend itself. Overwhelmingly positive, 95% of 7,000 reviews. Well, that is quite good, and as I've seen personally, it's a really interesting sort of digitized version of a sort of board game in a way. Is the best way you could put it. You evolve the disease or illness or whatever, and then it spreads across, and you change to. I think it changes. The pox. There's also different types of viruses. A new one they added in, I believe, was the ape virus or a monkey virus, I guess you would call it. That's in link with the what was it called? Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I believe. It was sort of a 10 diseases. It was a cooperative link between them and the game, and was now the Rise of the Planet of the Apes movie. It itself, I would say, it actually looks really, really cool, but you eventually, every virus in a way plays out the same to a degree. You can't really modify them all that much, even though there is actually now they've built in a editor where you can develop your own type of disease from a preset in a way, and you can see how modified, how it goes around and stuff like that. But all in all, it generally just tends to come out the same way. So there is a limited scope in that respect. Yeah, there's like scenarios as well. You're given a disease midway through, and you have to see it, try and win, kill everyone on the planet. It looks really promising, and I would recommend it, but I think, especially for $15, you could try it now. It's not too expensive, but I probably might actually wait till it's on when it finishes early access. And yeah, there's just more depth to the game, and yeah, there's more depth of viruses. Yeah, basically. And the last game for this queue is Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. Packed with fast-paced, turn-based RPG action, fourth wall breaking, trope demolishing, dialogue, and more item, weapon, and costume customization than you can shake the level one stick at. Game Industry is a world set on turning the concept of JRPG on its head. Overwhelmingly positive, 96% of 1,800 reviews. From what I've seen, it's a mixture of visual novel and tactical RPG battling, or third-person battling, in the vein of like Final Fantasy 10 or 11 or 13, whatever, one of those types of ones where it's anything, and it's got an interesting thing of that you're sort of playing in a virtual world, although more so that you're controlling characters within a virtual environment. Yeah, there's visual things. And yeah, that's basically you control the characters that jump forth and each other things. I mean, it is interesting, though. And it has pretty good like voice acting, though it is a little bit of the usual anime cringe-worthiness. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it, and even though it is an interesting thing, I don't know if I can really recommend it all that much. I mean, it is funny and stuff, and I guess if you're looking for a third-person turn-based JRPG and you're a Japanophile or otaku, then yeah, it might suit you quite well. But I don't really know if I find it all interesting, especially for $30. I don't know how big the game really is. Although there is a bunch of DLC, though it looks mostly like it's probably just going to be padding and extra items, probably like costumes and stuff like that, extra characters. I don't know. Maybe if it's on sale. I don't know. Alright, and that concludes the 9th episode of Queuing for Steam. I will try and get a new one up as soon as I can. I'm feeling rather tired, so I'm probably going to go to bed right now, but I will try and keep uploading new content as well from Zombie Army Trilogy, Hotline Miami 2, and Payday, and possibly some other things. Yeah, so see you next time.